トリビア3ステルライフ。鹿御所へ到着後、まんまとミラーに報告書の作成を押し付けることに成功したビクトリア。検視結果により犯人像が浮かび上がり始めるが、どうしても会いたいという、可愛いバディからのラブコールに応えるため、一時実家へと帰省する。そこで、屋根裏部屋にあった超改造が施されたメモリアルボックスから、祖父であるグスタフ・マクファーソンの残した、過去の事件ファイルを発見した謎解き界のサラブレッド。決して語られることのなかった事件が今、祖父の記憶と共に紐解かれ始める。ゆっくりの、ステルライフ実況パート3、始まるよー。ほーい皆さんこんちはー。現代から過去へと、さらっと時空を超えたゆっくりですよー。今回はプラハから起きたてほやほやな殺人事件をお届けします。はい、今画面にログインしてきたのがビクトリアのおじいちゃんだよ。
It's very nice of you to let me have a peek. I'm Gustav McPherson. I'm
Yes, a private detective. I'm familiar with your work, Mr. McPherson.
I had no idea I was so popular.
I've read about your case in Paris, and the one in London. I'm Inspector Skalnick of the Prague Police.
Is this the fifth victim?
Yes, she is officially. Supposedly, there are 2 missing.
Supposedly?
Yes, well, you know these women. They come and go, often without telling anyone. And then they show up again like they never left. So I don't bother with disappearances.
いきなり怠慢なポリスだね。税金返せ。
So you only bother when they turn up like this?
I see. We have a knight in shining armor. If you want my advice, Mr. McPherson, you'd best return to the usual missing person cases or husband cheating mysteries. This is a waste of your time.
I think you've just convinced me to take the case.
Really, Mr. McPherson? The press will not even cover this story. No one wants to know about dead prostitutes. If they do write about it, it will be about the killer and the number of bodies and not the actual victims. The pimps care even less. They force their women to work even if there is a killer loose. No one wants to sit at a dinner table and talk about this. There is no glory in this case. Like I said, you should stick with what you know.
わかったから税金返せ。かなり突っかかってくるね。
Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions?
Not at all.
Were all the victims prostitutes?
Yes.
お、現代との共通項だ
Is
ね。
the cause of death the necklace on her neck?
Of course it is.
So it's not the multiple stab wounds to her chest?
No. Well, we aren't really sure.
手口が同一犯レベルだね。
Does she have any other significant wounds on her body?
Yes, she has scars on her forearms and she is eviscerated.
Eviscerated?
ナイスリアクションおじいちゃん。そしておじいちゃんチェックナウ。
I had never seen anything so horrible in my entire life.
おじいちゃんシンキ
I'd
ンタ
only
イム
heard
ナ
of
ウ。
horrors like this from the Ripper case in London. Oh my god. Were all the victims like this?
Yes, they were all found like this.
Are all the organs accounted for?
あ、これクレアが言って
I'm
たや
no
つだね。
doctor, Mr. McPherson. I have no idea.
いや知っとけや。
In the other cases, were there missing organs?
Not that I'm aware of.
軽物よがりナウ。
Who's the coroner?
Emil Corona. He works at the old chapel. He's very... well, I don't want to ruin the surprise.
いら。
Now it's your turn to share. Maybe you can tell me what you think happened.
I think you're right about the cause of death. That slash across the neck was definitely it. Stabbings to her chest were done before the final blow to the throat. The defensive stab wounds on her arms reinforce this theory. What's bothering me, though, is the lack of blood at the crime scene. This probably indicates that she was murdered somewhere else, not here.
Well, Mr. McPherson, I don't want to be rude, but...
You have work to do, of course. Thanks for sharing. It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you, too.
I had a feeling that the
おじいちゃん
cooperation
露骨
between
なシンキン
Skalnick
タイ
and
ム
me
あげ
had
ん
just
なう。
ended. He was testing me for some reason. I was left to fend for myself.
はい、こんな感じでおじいちゃんの捜査は進んでいきますよ。おじいちゃんの露骨なシンキンタイムだけど、それはもう、とどまるところを知らない勢いで好きあらばシンキンしてくるからね。字幕を読むときにこんがらがらないようにね。お、別のポリスマンだ。すいません後ろのスケル肉が操作する気ないみたいなんですけど。
Kazimir Stasek. He's been a good source of info on a couple of minor cases I had here in the city. Hello, my friend.
知り合いかい。移り住んで間もないのに顔めっちゃ広いな。
And how are you this dark evening?
I can't complain. And how's my favorite boy in blue?
Besides my eye and this horrible murder, everything's fine.
この一言をよく覚えていてほしい。
I imagine you don't have anything more to give me?
This time I'm afraid I have nothing for you, my friend. Everyone is more or less at a loss.
You don't mind if I ask you a couple of questions anyway.
Of course not.
How long has this been going on?
It started about 3 weeks ago. You didn't hear about it until now?
No, I wasn't in town. I just got back. I was working a case outside the city. Someone called me to see if I could come back and help.
Ah, the very beautiful Miss Ida Skalikova, I presume.
Good guess. She's worried for her friends. I told her I'd see what I could do.
絶対下心だな。
Can you tell me about your new boss?
Inspector Yuri Skalnik.
口めっちゃパカパカ
He
し
was
てる。
given the
こ
case
うい
and
う
got
人形ある
temporarily
よね。
assigned to this district. He has a good reputation, but he doesn't share much information with us. He keeps to himself a lot.
What? He doesn't trust you?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he thinks we're incompetent or something.
Maybe. But he'd be stupid to think so.
Why, thank you, my friend.
まあ気休めだけどね。
Were all the
はっ
victims'
はっは
bodies dumped?
Yeah, I believe so. But then again, I don't have much information, as I said earlier.
Was there ever an eyewitness?
Nope, never.
That's what bothered
お
me
じ
the
いちゃんは
most.
この会話にぽっかり開いた間についてどう思ってるのかね。ごめんねヒゲのポリスメン。
How'd you get the shiner?
あこれこれ。
Shiner?
おいヒゲ。冒頭で自分から話してたくせに忘れるなし。
Oh, I arrested a man last night, and for some reason my eye hit this man's very large fist.
Did you get sucker punched?
Well, a little. My partner didn't have time to warn me. Everything happened so fast. I was helping the woman, and I turned around to see if my partner was okay, and wham! Next thing I knew, I was flat-faced on the sidewalk.
この話も覚えておくと、スーパー
What
と
did the
後で
man
面
do
白
to
くなるよ。
deserve your undivided attention?
He was harassing a young woman. So I asked him to stop, and then things got out of hand. The police are trying to find this animal. We're a little nervous when a man harasses a young woman these days.
That's understandable. Well, I should leave you to your work, and I have to see my client. Thanks for your input.
You're welcome. Be careful.
Will do.
いやものすごい口パカパカしてる人だったね。テイラー君もびっくりするぐらいパーしてた。いやいや、口がね、口がだよ。しかし景色綺麗だ。はっはっはお。私の美人レーダーに反応あり。2体だ。2体いるぞ抱きしめろ。
My Ida.
おじいちゃん肝めの
Best
シンキン
cams
タイ
in
ム
all
な
of
う。
Eastern Europe. She's my angel and the love of my life. I met her on a small case I was working. She used to dance in the neighborhood cabaret. She was involved with the married man I was following. It was love at first sight. Hey,
後ろにゴリラ
look
がい
at
る
you
ね。
all dolled up. Hi, sweetheart.
I don't like it when you call me that.
I didn't call you a doll. I said that you were... Never mind, I'm sorry.
Good. Now have you talked to that useless inspector?
Yes, I have. And I didn't get much from the meeting.
僕の天竺プークスクス。
Are you going to help us?
Of course I will. Is there really any doubt?
No, but you never know.
全然おじいちゃんの気持ち届いてないじゃん。
When do you want to settle this, now or later?
No, I don't want money, Ida.
Nonsense. You will accept our money. How much do you charge?
Okay, listen. We'll settle this after the case, all right?
Do you promise? Because we'll feel insulted if you don't accept our money.
What was I supposed to do? Take money off these women? That's the last thing I wanted to do. Yes, I promise. I will charge you at the end of the case. Yeah, right.
なんかおじいちゃんがかわいそうになってきた。なんて相性が悪いんだお前ら。
What was her name?
Who?
The victim's name?
Oh, her name was Frantiska.
パンツ、違う
Were
か
you。close to her?
Not as much as Milena, but yes, I knew her.
Did she ever talk about a regular client or someone special?
Not that I know of.
Do you think Milena can answer a few questions?
I guess. Let me ask her. Milena?
Yes?
驚きのハスキーボイスでミレイナちゃんがログインしま
This
し
is
た。
my friend, the one I told you about. He's here to help us catch the man responsible. Do you think he can ask you some questions about Frantiska?
Okay.
I'll wait for you up the stairs, okay?
Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
ゆっくり帰ってね。あとゴリラに気をつけてね。ちょっと君、パンツの色は何色かな？ほら、おじさんに教えてごらんなさい。行くまでおじさん横にいるからね。うわ、めちゃめちゃ怪しいねこのゴリラ。あ、飯田さんがゴリラポジについた。
My name's Gus McPherson. I'm here to help stop this from ever happening again.
I thank you, sir. Not a lot of people would help women like us.
フランチェスカが亡くなって、悲しいんだね。わかるよ。
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about Francisca?
No, that's fine.
How long have you known Francisca?
Well, I've known her for a long time. We met in the orphanage when we were just little girls. Her parents had died in a terrible accident. We became very close. We both left the orphanage never to return. We never liked the sisters. Ever since we left, we tried to survive on the streets, even changing cities. But we kept coming back here.
この子も娼婦なのか、いい子そうなのに、なんて時代だ。
Did she ever talk about someone new or special?
No. It was not her style. Francisca would rarely take new clients. She had regulars and enough to allow her to survive. She would only take complete strangers if she absolutely needed to. Apollina is more like that. She always has a new rich client.
Did she ever have a client that had been violent with her?
No. She only had clients she trusted.
まあそりゃそうだよね。
How about you? Have you had any trouble with any of your clients?
No, I'm like Francisca. I have only regular clients. If I'm on the streets, it's because I'm keeping my friends company.
Were you close to any of the other victims?
Well, there is one that was a common friend to Francisca and me. Her name was Inezka. No one's found her. She just disappeared one day. We honestly don't know what happened to her. I knew the others only on a professional level.
アネスカタンも被害者なのかね。
Did Inezka ever complain about any clients before she disappeared? Or did she ever talk about leaving?
We all talk about leaving. Who wants to live their life like this? But she never complained about anything. Inezka was like Apollina. She took on many clients. She left town a lot, but always came back with a broken heart. I hope she did find someone and left this place.
おじいちゃんはだいぶお客を疑っとるな。
Where can I find this Apollina?
She usually works the park. Rare are the girls who are allowed to enter it. She's very protective of her territory. That's what she calls it anyway. Francisca and me were allowed in because Apollina knew we didn't take strangers and pretty much had our own regulars. Inezka was Apollina's good friend, so she was allowed too. So we all kept each other company in the park. Maybe Apollina knows where Inezka is. I don't know.
Well, thank you for answering my questions. It was a pleasure to meet you, even under these unfortunate circumstances.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Mr. McPherson. I thank you for trying to help us.
Trying? I haven't even started yet. If I have any more questions, how may I contact you?
Usually in the park.
Again, thank you.
なになにこのおじいちゃんとミレイナちゃんのラブリーな雰囲気。ダメダメおじいちゃん。ミレイナちゃんは私の天使ププなんだから。東ヨーロッパ一の美しさプププーなんだから。
Ida's an angel on Earth. She's the sweetest person I've ever met.
妄想すげえ
I
なじじ
truly
い。
believe she
お
doesn't
前
have an
頭の
angry
中
bone
ず
in
っ
her
とこんなん
body,
かい。
even with the difficult childhood she had. A stepfather who molested her on a regular basis. Ida is always positive, and she's always willing to help the people who surround her. That's why she hired me to try and help. She has an undying optimism about life in general, and I love her for it. Hey,
How is she?
she's okay, I guess, under the circumstances.
I'll go talk to her after.
飯田さんセクシーだね。
Tell me, where can I find Emil Corona?
Who's he?
He's the coroner working the case. I need to ask him a few questions. Skalnik said he worked in an old chapel. Do you know where it is?
Yes, I'll mark it on a map.
I don't need a map. Just tell me where it is.
What is it with men and directions? Take this map, it'll help you.
お、 おじいちゃんの妄想以外で初めて優しいとこ見た。
I marked the location of the old chapel. It's not far from here.
Okay, thanks, sweetheart. How have you been? I mean, are you feeling better?
Yes, a little. It's not as bad as when you left for your case.
飯田さんは体調が悪いんだね。
Did you go see the doctor?
No.
Ida, go see him. It might be serious. I'm no doctor, but throwing up every day is not normal. Go see him.
Okay, I'll go see him. I don't throw up every day, you know. You always exaggerate.
Yes, okay. But go see him as soon as possible. Okay. I have to see this corona. I want you to stay off the streets as much as possible. Never walk around alone.
Yes, I know you've told me 100 times. I am careful.
Okay, I'll ease up on you. You be careful.
I will. Now go.
飯田さん露骨に邪魔くさそうだね。おじいちゃんとは友達止まりの関係なのかな。というところで今回はここまで。ではまた次回。ゆっくりスキルライフ、解説のコーナー。はーい。今回もゲームの補足説明をしていくよ。進行は、私ゆっくりでお送りしますが、ウプ主が私の口をパクパクさせるのめんどくさいっていうもんだから、時代に逆行した一国道スタイルでお届けするよ。ってことで今回は、娼婦の女の子たちの関係図を書いてみたんだ。今回結構新しい名前がバンバン出てきたしね。少しでもスキルライフを楽しむための参考になれば嬉しいよ。ではまずフランチェスカちゃんから行ってみよう。はい出たー。フランチェスカちゃん。かわいいよ。フランチェスカちゃんは、今回殺人鬼に見事に殺されちゃってた子ですね。橋の下で見つかりましたが、おそらく殺害されたのは別の場所です。どこだろうね。ってことで続いてウプ主一押しのミレイナちゃん。ミレイナちゃんは私の天使だよ。ハスハス。コンパートでのミレイナちゃんの話を中心にして、今後、おじいちゃんは娼婦たちから証言を取り始めるんだよ。じゃあ次はまだ見ぬ娼婦たちを紹介といこうか。まずは今回名前の上がった、超絶リッチなアポリーヌちゃん。おーえー、いかにもって感じだね。公園を縄張りにし、数多くのリッチメンを虜にしてきた魔性をまとい、48の超絶技巧を持つ女。アポリーヌちゃんは次パートで絡んでくるからお楽しみにね。そして最後に、ウプ主愛しのミレイナちゃんの友達で、現在好評行方不明中の女の子、アネスカタンの登場だー。はいすいませんアネスカタンはストーリーの都合上、さらっと出演をキャンセルされましたので、代わりにちびきもデブハゲポリス面に登場していただいております。ということで今後は失踪中のアネスカタンを追いつつ、48の超絶技巧を体験する旅に出るということになります。それにしても、1名を除いてみんなとんでもなく若いね。最悪初めての中が仕事でとか、めっちゃ嫌だね。それじゃあ今回のおまけはここまで。次回もお楽しみに。